the speedy guy.
Hello?
Hello.
Is that Mr. Jotun?
It sure is, baby.
Oh, there he is. All right, hold on. Can everyone hear Monsieur Jotun?
Try not to die. That'd be a rough way for me to kick this thing off.
Oh, I've died many a times already, bud.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Let me turn you up because anyone who new to the game here. All right, there we go. Cool. So this is my what I was working on. I was working on a Discord server to do news stuff, and then I realized how much work it was. And I was like, I'm not reasonably gonna be able to do this without a lot of support.
Yeah. Brother, trust me, I get, I
I,
get it.
right, I was like, I can't do that because I helped out with talking in stations and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah. All right, hold on.
What are you doing, cat? Please.
Yeah, my cat
Goodness.
is a furry little terrorist. I don't know if you've seen, but he has been
Yeah,
out of
yeah. No,
control today.
I sympathize. My cat is a small monster who lives in my house.
All right, let's see. Okay, everyone can hear you. Perfection. All right. Let me pull up my own Word document that I sent you. Did you even get a chance to look at it? I know you had that thing going on.
Yeah, uh, I I feel like kind of a dick, and I want to be honest with you because I like you and you're my homie.
You're fine,
Um,
dude.
when I said emergency, what that was I did not know how to tell you that I forgot that I agreed to go to a party at 6 o'clock. Uh, so it was not actually an emergency at all.
Dude,
Uh,
no, that's
it,
fine. Like, so
it,
this is a like I wanted to do this just to get you guys out there in the world talking more. As I know you guys do a ton anyway, but I want to talk to as
yeah.
many FC devs as I can. And this is a favor that you're doing the first one because now I realize I don't have anything set up to show your face.
No, it's fine. I mean, you want to show my face? You can edit me in if you want to.
Oh
I can
yes,
turn my camera on.
you're fine, dude.
Yep. Okay, that's all good.
Yeah, yeah. Let me pull up the thing here. So I am Orion
Yeah,
Solo.
no,
Joining me now
I
is the illustrious, the enormous FC Hotel,
true.
as my girlfriend just said.
Hell yeah.
Well, she said autocorrect hitter, and I was like, well, I'm gonna hit him with that. But FC
Very good.
Jotun.
FC Jotunn. Yes. FC
So,
Hotel. That's very good.
uh, well, first, what do you tell us about yourself and what you do at Fenris?
Sure. So I am FC Jotun. I am a longtime Eve player. I started playing back in 2006. I was on the CSM for 2 years, or for a year and a half, before I started working here, and I hired on to be the I was the first community developer for eFrontier, and I started back at the beginning of 2024. I think April 2024 was when I hired on originally. Um, so that was Frontier was just it was just before we were going to like go public because we had been kind of a little bit more undercover. Undercover is maybe a too strong word for that, but we were just a little bit
In
more low key
disguise,
before
running
then.
around.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit more low key before that. I think when they were chills trying to like test the viability of the game state as a whole, and we uh, they wanted to hire a community dev, and it was so funny. The timing of it just happened to work out well because I was so before in the past life, in my previous life, I was a supply chain manager for. I was a purchasing manager a for a health supplements company in the U.S.
Nice.
I lived near Atlanta,
Oh God.
and yeah, yeah, you're telling me. And the job was good. I mean, I made pretty good money, but it was not what I would call rewarding in any way.
Oh yeah.
And
No.
it was kind of a yeah, it was not ideal. Anyway, so long and short of it was, had I kind of saw the writing on the wall for that place because we'd gotten bought by a private investment group about
Mm.
like it was like honestly like a week before I started working there, and then over the course of the next 2 years, they just dismantled that place.
Oh
So
wow.
I was like, yeah, I need to find a way to get out of here. So I quit and I took my severance and I just kind of bolted and ran. And then I started looking for work again. And I happened to notice when I was applying for jobs that a job had opened up here on the community team. And I was like, I am going to apply. I don't think I'm going to get it, but I'm going to apply for it because I just want to see what it's like, what the process is like.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I had I had no real uh, vision of what like moving would even look like, right?
Right. Yeah. Especially to
So
another country, right?
yeah, exactly. I mean, I had never lived long term outside of the U.S., so this was news to me. But uh, I was like, I'm just going to apply for it and see what happens. So I did, and I got a message about a month later from Swift, who says, because we worked together when I was on the CSM. He goes, "Hey, I saw that you put in for that job. Do you really want to work here?" And I go, "Yeah, I sure would." He goes, "Okay." He goes, "Well, good news and bad news. The bad news is you're not going to get that job because it turns out that job had already been. It was basically already in the. They were. It was Lumi's job. Is the one
Oh.
that I had applied for, and she was basically already finished with the process of like doing the interviews and stuff. We
Mm-hmm.
just had to kind of finalize it. He said, "You're not going to get that job, but if you really want to work here, there is a job opening up that you should check out." And it was this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I was super skeptical about it at first, because it was Frontier,
Mm-hmm.
and all I knew was what I knew at the time, and I was like, well, okay, I will. I'll just see what they say, and I sat down with a uh, with FC Overload and FC Goodfella and FC Paragon and a couple other people who are all on the Frontier team and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of talked to them about it. And by the time we got to those conversations, I was like sold. So I put in for the job and went through all that. And now I am one of the two community developers assigned to Frontier, along with FC Degent.
Okay. Yeah. I couldn't
And
remember. I thought it was DJ something, but I was like, one eye came to
yeah,
mind. And I was like, that's not correct.
yeah. Degent, he focuses more on like some of the like the Web3 guys and the builders, the people who are doing a lot of the player coding and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He works a lot with them, and I work more on the like kind of gameplay focused side, which both of those suit our skill sets very well. I that is a whole another world for me, so I am happy to let him, which he's much more comfortable in that space, sort of engage with people in that zone. So,
Awesome.
uh, yeah. But I mean, aside from just, obviously I do a lot of stuff on Frontier.
Mm-hmm.
It is my primary project, but I work on Eve too. Whenever the need arises, whenever we're doing events and stuff. Obviously, I've been on some of the like live to feed streams with the B and the fellas, and doing some of those. Um, and I do Brawl or Nothing as
Of
well.
course.
Some of those streams, which are really fun. And I like to get the chance to show off smaller gang content. Well, smaller gang necessarily, not necessarily small gang, but smaller fleet content in
Yeah.
Eve, which is a lot of fun for me.
Well, that way you don't do a brawl or nothing, and it's a 14-hour fight, and you're just like,
Yeah,
ugh.
I have gotten very close before, and I was like, I gotta get out, gotta get out of here. How do I, how do I find a way to get away from this?
Right. All right.
Um,
When you get a chance, turn your camera. I want to see if I didn't screw this up.
yeah, sure. Give me one
If you
second.
want,
Let me
that
see.
is.
No, of course. Let me see if I. Does it work? Hang on. Let me test the video.
No worries. You put
It
yourself on.
is working. I am super backlit, but that's just because it's sunny as hell here. Yeah, we'll try this. Hang on. Let me. Nope.
I mean, it's sunny. Like,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. You're the
Yeah,
20.
hang on.
What is it sunny like there? Like 18 hours out of the day or something like that?
Yeah, basically the entire day, if I'm being honest.
Oh yeah, no
Uh,
worries.
yeah, it has been kind of. I know a lot of people are like real big into the like they have this like really romantic notion of the all day like the the night or the day that never ends, like
Mm-hmm.
the midnight sun. It sucks.
Yeah, it
It
can really
sucks
mess
so
with you.
bad.
If you're not
It
used to
sucks so bad.
dealing with that, like your brain, it takes a while. You have to get used to it, or you just don't function right.
You absolutely do. Hello, it is me.
Hold on, let me pull up the things here.
Cat, get down, please. Get down.
Hey, someone who
Down.
struggles like I do.
Yeah, she keeps up, jumping up on behind one of my monitors, and every time she does that, she pulls the power cable out, and the
Oh no.
monitor goes off, and then all my monitors try and shift over to compensate. It's just a pain.
Oh yeah. All right.
She's
Well,
lucky she's cute.
yes, exactly. That's what I do with Warden all the time. I'm like, sir, this is a problem.
Yeah, real. Let me turn one of these lights on real fast. Myself a little bit less washed out.
Okay, now it's not letting me pick anything. Why are we being dumb like this?
I'm just very red right now.
Oh, you're good, dude. Like I said, I'm still the Discord thing did not work like I wanted to, so I'm poking at things. But let's go. So, what is the favorite part of your job?
What is my favorite part of my job? That's a
Yes.
good question. What is the favorite part of my job? Man, I think it's tough because I think I'm given a lot of creative freedom to do cool things, especially working on Frontier because Frontier is not really an established product,
Hmm.
so we don't have a lot of the the momentum that Eve does, and so I'm able to do a lot of like weird, cool things if I want to,
Hmm.
which is not to say that we can't do cool things on Eve, but there's just more planning that has to go into it,
Yeah.
and I can be a little more spur of the moment with Frontier. However, I think in very broad strokes, if I had to say my favorite part of the job is being able to, like, I really um, like I really like Brawl or Nothing, and not just because it is a way for shit, it's me.
It is you.
I
There
see
you are.
me.
I have found it. We are
Yeah,
there.
you found me. I'm here. Um, it's not just because I like um, uh, the fights and the shoutcasting and all that. It's much more because I really like so much of what we do is amplifying player stories, right? Because we could sit here till we're blue in the face working on all kinds of cool new content and whatever, and I'm convinced we would not come up with anything that even remotely rivals the work that our players do
Right.
as a rule. So I'm like I'm conscious of the fact that we are like kind of constantly uh, striving to do cool things from like the company's point of view,
Hmm.
but players are doing cool things all the time, and so giving us or giving using the powers that we have and using the platform that we have to amplify those stories is the thing that really like gets me going. And there's so many cool things that people are doing every single day, all the time, that just never get seen. Like
Hmm.
that is the thing I think that I keep coming back to. There are so many cool things happening out there that people just will never know about, just because the audiences or just because the audience is very small, or because they happen quickly, or just because there's just not a whole lot of people involved. And it's really really cool to use this platform to amplify those stories. That I think is at least in some way meaningful to me.
Yeah. That's awesome. Jesus. This. I will figure this out next time. I'm done
You're
messing with it.
fine. You're
So
killing it. I'm sorry, chat, that I'm a sweaty mess right now. Like I said, I did just come from a party.
No, you're fine.
Um,
Well, like I said, man, like it, anything comes up, like this is all I wanted to do this on your all's free time, whether it be at work or otherwise, because you're doing a favor by coming on for me. So this is
well,
awesome.
the problem is I told you that 6 o'clock was fine, and it was. But then I immediately forgot that we were doing the party at 6 too.
Oh, you're good.
That was on me. That was my fault.
No worries at all. So what is the hardest part? Like,
The hardest part of this job, I think that the hardest part of the job is maintaining like we do a lot of information gathering
Mm.
for all of our dev teams. Obviously, we go out and we collect information from from within the community, and we are constantly put in positions where we are listening to people give feedback and having to determine if it's worth communicating to like leadership or some of the other devs, right? I don't know how to say this, and I don't want to be like kind of crude about it, but some of the feedback we get from players is really really bad,
Oh,
like
for
really really
sure.
bad. It's not all bad, obviously, and a lot of it is really good and super useful and stuff that we need to be communicating and determining what is and what is not useful is tricky, because a lot of it too is based on your own information, right? Like or your own experience.
Yeah.
So I'm fairly confident that if somebody in like wormhole space, for example, tells me something, I can feel fairly confident that I will either know how best to process that information to make it useful for somebody,
Hmm.
or decide whether or not it's useful, or I will at least know the people who I can talk to who can help me make that determination.
Yeah.
If somebody were to come to me right now and say, hey, here's this obscure low sec thing, this sucks. Can you make it do this instead? Chances are pretty good, with some exceptions. Hang on. Look at this. Look at this thing.
Yes.
Look at this. You see it?
Yep. Almost
Hey,
unplugged you again.
stop that. Don't just look. Look. Yeah.
I'm surprised no
Two
one's
lines
clipped it
here.
from me yet, but my cat will headbutt my shoulder. I'll pet him, then he'll bite at my finger, and then if I don't pay attention to him, he'll try to take chunks out of my shoulder.
Yeah, dude. I get that. I get that. But anyway, yeah. The the it is very much about like trying to parse feedback in a way that is useful to people, because we do get a lot of feedback, and a lot of it is better or worse than some others, and it takes a little bit of work to make that happen,
Oh,
because
hold on, not
that
just a
is
little bit of work. That's a like don't undersell it. That's a lot of
it
work.
is it is the majority it is the majority of the job, if I'm being honest, and it can be hard too. And where it can be really hard is that, like, I mean, I obviously still play the game pretty frequently,
Hmm.
and I am in a position now where I talk to a lot of people
Yeah.
who who are friends of mine, people who I play the game with all the time,
Hmm.
and they'll say something to me about some issue they're having with the game, and very rarely anymore is my response like dramatic, I guess is what
Yeah.
I'm trying to get at. Like, it's just not like I'm not surprised, and
Yeah. Yeah.
not because I'm expecting things to not go well. It's more just like I hear so much from different people all the
Yeah.
time about things that they either like or don't like,
Hmm.
or have strong feelings about one way or the other, that I don't. It just doesn't really. I don't like. There's just nothing there anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't feel like. Yeah, I just it's all kind of sounds the same.
Yeah. It's
So
just like yeah. Well, I
yeah,
mean, we're
it just
Eve players. That's our MO. We like to complain.
yeah, and there is a lot of that, and I am sympathetic too, because I understand, and this is the thing that is the trickiest about. Honestly, this actually might be the trickiest part of this job. Understanding that people who aren't here don't have all the information.
Yep.
And that's not always. I mean, that's not to say things are always good, obviously. But like, I mean, certainly there are things that are kind of busted pretty
Yeah.
frequently. Eve is an old game,
Yeah.
and there are a lot of challenges with it. But a lot of the things that people will complain about are, it's very difficult to communicate to people with the knowledge that you know more than they do,
Yes.
because I could sit there and tell you, like, yeah, that's not something you really need to worry about because it's something that we're working on,
Yeah.
but I can't say that.
Yeah.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Because you could
Like,
leak something that could change a whole market.
right. And that is where it gets kind of. I mean, it was a problem in the CSM too, and it's only more so now, just because you talk to people, you hear people talk about things in passing, and
Hmm.
you talk about things over lunch, and you think you
Yeah.
don't even think it's that big of a deal,
Yep.
and then something comes up, and suddenly you're like, oh, that actually was kind of a big deal. You
Uh
know what I
oh.
mean? Like that was actually something that somebody was trying to keep under wraps.
Yeah.
Frontier is a lot the same way, but it's a little bit different, right? Because we've been very transparent about our development from the very like more or less the very beginning.
Hmm.
Has the or rather, sorry, we've been very transparent from the beginning about our how we wanted to develop things because we felt like that was really the only way we could make this work was by being as honest and open as we could,
Hmm.
which is great. But it also means that there's like not really that much anymore that we're keeping close to the chest.
Yeah.
Like I'm less worried about spoiling something on the Frontier side than I am on the Eve side. Also because
Hmm.
we don't have the like you're right. If you say something, you say the wrong thing, and somebody draws an inference there, and then they go out and they buy, you know, 700 billion worth of some component, and now
Right.
the market has changed because of some random offhand comment you've made. Like that shit happens, you know,
Oh.
has happened before and
Oh
is really
yeah.
annoying.
Yeah.
So I guess if I were going to sum this up, the hardest part about this job is information control,
Yeah.
both
Exactly.
both from within and from without.
Yeah, and again, it's a personal thing for you because a lot of folks like, well, FC don't play the game. Like, no, you guys play the
Mm-hmm.
game a lot. A lot of you guys do, and it's
Well,
just like you guys feel the same pains we do in a lot of regards, just in different areas. Like you do, I'm guessing you still probably do a lot of wormhole stuff, so you feel that pain
yeah.
when there's no iteration on wormholes or vice versa.
What is kind of tricky about it is that, yes, so there are plenty of people at the company who don't play Eve,
Hmm.
and will never play Eve, but they are not, and very few of them are gameplay oriented.
Hmm.
Like most of the game designers, the game, the producers on those teams are all like Eve players, but you have plenty of people who are like in art or who are technical engineers
Hmm.
who know some things about Eve certainly, but like aren't um, they're not necessarily like they don't play the game the same way that we do, right?
Yeah.
Like like I there are people in the company who will play like events and they'll do like the stuff for the events
Hmm.
and they'll go out and they'll mine and they'll enjoy it a little bit more casually. Whereas the way that you play the game, the way that I play the game is very different, and the approach is very different. So there is that, and the other thing that is hard too, and this is more just a game design issue in general, right? Where you have so any issue that comes up, there are like if let's say somebody brings up some issue about the game on Reddit,
Hmm.
okay,
Oh God.
there are going to be, and and they do,
Oh, of
there are
course.
going to be plenty of people who will join in and agree with them,
Hmm.
because all of those people will play the game the same way those people play it.
Hmm.
But every time that happens, there's always going to be dissenting voices. Almost every time, there are always dissenting voices
Yep.
because a lot of times people will, and this is not really a surprise. People want to change the game in ways that will make it more interesting or just better for them
Oh yeah.
and their specific playstyle, which is fine. But it does mean that somebody else sitting there would look at that and say like, oh, that doesn't benefit me, so
Hmm.
why are we spending time working on this? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like this exordium thing is kind of a big an example of that. This does not benefit like 95% of current players,
Yep.
right? The existence of exordium does not benefit any of those people. But what it might benefit are people who are joining in the future,
Yep.
and whether those people stick around long term.
Hmm.
So, doing that work to introduce that space and set those players up for success and try to set them up to stick around for a while
Hmm.
is worth doing, even if it's not, a a change that is going to affect the state of nullsec, or a change that's going to affect how certain industries work out, or a change that's going to affect whether the value of gas is X Y Z,
Oh
right?
yeah, I disagree with that just a
So,
little bit because you're working on securing your future. Because let's be honest, from games we played back in the day, our games were hard back in the day,
hmm
and
hmm
Eve kind of grew from that, and that was kind of the draw for folks. Eve was hard, but
hmm
we've gone past our age of folks coming in, and so you're not seeing a lot more 40, 30-year-olds picking up Eve to play. Now you're getting 20-year-olds and folks who've played this other thing. So I think having a new bro area like that is probably going to be more beneficial and maybe retain folks longer. Because my always push is try to find the thing you find fun, and then get involved with people. Because I think you
Mhm.
agree, Eve is about the people more so than anything else.
I mean, it's a very social game, right? And that is true too. I mean, obviously, about most of this, like a lot of the, to their credit, the current design team on Eve is very cognizant of the fact that like when we do things, you have to find ways for groups to support themselves and support each other, because and not just from a like how much money can you make kind of way,
Yeah.
right? Obviously, that is the thing that people like keep coming back to pretty frequently is like, oh well, this doesn't help my group make any, or this doesn't help me or my group make any money, which is fair, and I understand like why they are concerned about that. But
Hmm.
there are so many things like the stuff that the heraldry team works on that will help groups build internal culture
Yep.
in a way that is maybe has not existed in the past and can help those groups that exist now kind of fortify the culture they've got.
Hmm.
And I think that's important because
Yeah.
that means that those groups are more likely to stick around, more likely to support other players, more likely to continue to get involved in things happening in the universe. Um, yeah, I do think but at the same time, while I agree that it is important, and I think that it was a cool thing for us to do, there are a lot of people who are a little bit more. How do I say this? They're a little more like in the moment, and if something does not benefit them right now, then they don't they don't understand why that is, why we're doing that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
And I understand that because everybody is paying the same sub,
Yep.
and everybody wants to feel like they are getting something out of the sub, and that's fine and good.
Hmm.
But at the same time, um, you have to have a longer term mindset about it. I mean, we certainly have a longer term mindset about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Well, I mean, in Eve players, we talk about it. Eve's a long game. They're not going anywhere.
it's a
So
long
like
game.
we're just probably more upset that the thing that we want to iterate on to get iterated on, basically, because we
Yeah,
know it's going to, but folks fail to realize, and I learned more about this when I ran for CSM. It takes years to make these things happen sometimes, and you can't just implement things on the fly that you would want to.
it is. I mean, I think a lot of people have this idea of how fast we should iterate on things, and I respect that too, and I will admit that sometimes I feel the same way, but I also know that the people who are working on those iterations are not people who are doing things kind of willy nilly,
Hmm.
and are very cautious of taking any actions that disrupt things
Yeah.
too quickly. With You want to be able to shake things up without like I mean, I always look back at Blackout, right?
Yeah.
Blackout
Yeah.
was for some people great, and for some people really bad.
Yeah.
And so, and it was certainly a shakeup.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that. It
No.
was a
Yeah.
shakeup.
It was.
So, the the is that the kind of thing that you're aiming for,
Hmm.
or do you want to put the foundational pieces in place to get to that point before you, excuse me, before you
How
try
dare
to
you?
implement something like that. You know what I mean? Like if for example you wanted to do Blackout today, you might go through and start building up the infrastructure for it first,
Hmm.
and in building out maybe a year's worth of setup to get to the point where like, yeah, okay, so we're gonna get rid of local,
Hmm.
but to get there we're going to implement like a module that lets you can anchor it in space, and you get local in that space. Then
Yep.
you have to defend those modules, and then
Hmm.
you can network them together, and then you have tie them into your current infrastructure, and all these things. Like there are ways you could do it that is not just, hey, tomorrow there's no local in this space,
Yeah.
because that's where things get pretty disruptive. Oh shit.
It's fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be
Yeah,
fine.
you're totally fine, totally
It's gonna be
fine.
fine. Put on the baby oil, boys. We out.
I believe. There you go. Got it. Easy game.
Yes.
It's a game for babies. Look, only a couple of them started even trying to run. No big deal.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
But yeah, the it is it is tricky, um, and that is another thing that I think is I have an easier time with Frontier is that are able to just do weird, random shit.
Hmm.
Sometimes maybe not random shit, but like just weird, disruptive stuff because
Yeah.
they're like there is not that momentum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not that like that 20 years worth of head of steam that you
Hmm.
have to contend with, right?
Yeah, like I was telling folks were like, "Oh, we need a change in null." It's like, yeah, I mean,
Mm.
there could be a change in null, but that's a huge thing. That's not just a small thing. When the solve structure was put in there, I've started to get away from calling it Fozzie solve because that's not fair to or FC Fozzie because like
Yeah,
people put that moniker on him, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm like, it's just the solve changes. It wasn't him who did it. It was this is a guy whose name got attached to the thing. But it takes a while to make that thing kind of happen without literally flipping the entire board on people in some
yeah,
kind of way.
yeah. I do. Yeah, I have some strong opinions. I think perhaps about how my good friend and colleague, Mr. Fozzie, has been treated in that sense
Yeah.
because no thing happens in a vacuum, and
Nope.
no single person is responsible for any one decision. And there are always a bunch of different voices involved in almost everything,
Hmm.
and his was certainly one of them. But he was the face of it,
Yeah.
so he got the a lot of the flack that I don't think he deserved for that.
Yeah.
And it really was not that big of honestly was not even that big of
No.
a deal,
No. We always make it large in what it is. Really, like
right?
you know. I was
Yeah,
there when the change happened initially, putting my boots in to solve, and I was just like, "Oh, this is the change." And I was too new in the game to realize the change as it was, so I just went with it. So I was lucky
right.
in that regard that I was too new or not entrenched enough to know the change for what it was.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's get to the questions before I keep you here for 2 hours. All right, so
No, you're fine, dude. Go ahead.
who's your favorite dev? I'm gonna
I
make you
heard Dev
choose.
is. Oh man, this
I'm
is
gonna make you
really
choose.
tough.
You gotta pick
God.
one.
Oh fuck me. I. I have to be very careful. I mean,
No,
it
oh
just.
no, 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 careful here.
Oh man.
Because the folks missed the opportunity to clip you on the other stuff. Now they can focus on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Who's my favorite Dev? I think it is. I think it's. I think it is. It probably changes from day to day, but I think
Oh,
today
day
is
to day.
probably.
Wow.
I know. Hey, listen, just you wake up a different day and you're like, ah, fuck that guy. I think Zealous is probably my favorite dev
Zealous. Yeah,
today.
I could see
Yeah, I
that.
mean, I love him to death.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was another one we worked together on the community team back when I was on the CSM,
Hmm.
and we've worked together on the AT doing
Hmm.
stuff there, and I just love him so much. He's just such a cool dude, and
He
he's
is.
so friendly. I mean, but I mean, realistically, I love all the people on the community team.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I mean, Swift is my boy.
yeah.
He is, he is, he very well could be my favorite person just in general, as
Hmm.
like on a day to day basis. He's just such a, he is so he's the community team manager,
Yeah.
and he is by far, and it's not even really close, the best boss I've ever had.
Oh wow. That says a
Oh
lot.
yeah,
Yeah. When you
yeah.
say you have a favorite boss, like that's not just a small compliment to pay to someone.
Yeah, he is not just one of the best people I've ever known. Well, he's not just one of the best bosses I've ever had. He is one of the best people I've ever known. But I mean, all of them. I mean, my boy Convict is always like super helpful. Like one of the most resourceful people in the company. Who's always available to like lend a hand setting up stuff, or if I'm having issues with some stream setup, the dude is almost always available to help. Lumi, my beloved, is the most organized person I've ever met in my life, and she
Oh yeah.
routinely saves my ass just because she knows more
She-
about what's happening on a day-to-day basis than I do. My boy Degent, obviously my brother,
Mhm.
is always around to um, you know provide the support sometimes with Frontier that I need. The man is tireless and such a cool dude. And B, I made the joke during our stand-up meeting, I think last week, that I don't know if a joke is funny until I've seen B laugh at it. So like if I say something, he doesn't laugh. I'm like, I fucked it up. Like
Landed
this is
flat.
it didn't work. So and then like just across the company, there's so many cool people who I interact with on a day-to-day basis. My boy Overload,
Hmm.
obviously, is like he's probably the reason why I'm here. If I'm being like, if we go back to like a single point of like a single point, he is the reason why I'm here, and I will never be able to thank him enough for it. Honestly,
Hmm.
um, and then I mean, a lot of my other devs on Frontier are, I mean, they're great, and I work with a lot of really cool people, and I'm very
Yeah.
lucky to do so, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to do so. But today it is Zealous for sure.
Okay. Today, Zealous is number one, and
Number
that's
one.
number one. All right. So I know you had a big part in FanFest. So what was
Mm.
your main focus on FanFest? Like, what would you have your hands on the most?
The Frontier keynote was the biggest thing for us. I mean, we did we had a keynote last year in Northern the second stage,
Hmm.
and it went really really well. And this year we were on the main stage. We had about as many people there this year as we did last year. Just obviously Northern or Elderberg is a bigger stage than Northern is, um, and we I can tell you right now, we spent so much time putting that keynote together. It was crazy. I think we rewrote it like 4 or 5 different times. Um, and even despite like because last year when we put it together, it was a little bit more slapdash and much we didn't quite understand the scope, like the scale of things.
Hmm.
So when we did it this year, we were like, okay, we're going to really put some effort into this thing and make it as good as it could possibly be. And we did, and we got there eventually. But for like the 2 weeks leading up to FanFest, I don't know if I slept more than like 2 hours a night most nights.
Wow.
If I'm being honest, I was just up late, like just fretting over this thing, and trying to get like game capture for it, and trying to work on getting assets together for some other things, and and just like the stress of it too. Like it's important, this is your moment to get up on stage and communicate the work of not just the work that you're doing, but the work that's being done by so many other people that you are now the spokesperson for. And that is that is a big responsibility, and you really do feel it when you're in that position, because you have all these people now who are relying on you to be their voice, and if you don't do a good job at that, like suddenly people are yeah. Oh shit!
You're good. Keep
Get his
going.
ass.
Keep going, man. That's
I
what I'm
think you
here
got
for.
him,
Oh,
dude.
good fight, dude. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Easy game.
Right. This is. So I was debating on whether to bring devs in to come shoot me and do things like that because I thought that'd be kind of fun thing. But then I was like, when you're
Yeah.
off work, you may not want to do more work. But it's one of those things. It's like I wanted to do. I love these BSC sites. These sites are amazing. So I
Yeah.
really love these sites, and our new bros drift to those things and do those things a lot.
I will. One of these days, I'll come run some of these with you.
No worries.
One of these days when I'm not. It's not a Friday. A Friday afternoon.
So I'm gonna skip a couple of
Um,
these just because it says, "Do you play even in your free time?" We know that. I've shot
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah,
personally. Uh,
yeah, for sure.
your favorite activity, Eve? I'm guessing it's wormhole stuff.
Yeah, wormhole brawls are my peak activity.
Okay.
There's nothing that gets me going more than putting as much mass as you can through an H296, and then just hoping and praying that you brought the right
You
comp.
gotta-
That's good stuff.
oh yeah, that's awesome. So what was your "This is Eve" moment, good or bad? Like the thing you're like, "Oh God."
The very first Titan I ever saw was back in 2007, I think,
Oh wow.
and it was a Leviathan, and it was insane. I Looking back on it, I mean, I was young too. I mean, I was in 2007. I was probably 16 years old, maybe, or
Hmm.
15 or 16, something like that. And Eve at that point had always just been like frigates to me. And one day, one of my buddies said, "Hey, man, follow me." And so I followed him, and we went out, to somewhere in Null. I can't tell you where it was. I can't tell you who was fighting. I can't tell you anything like that. All I know is that there was a Titan on grid, and I saw it, and it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen in my life.
That's
And that
awesome.
was pretty neat. But more recently, in more relevant times, um, uh, there was a fight. Um, Oh, this was in 2021, I think, is when it would have been. Um, my group was we had found a low power C6
Hmm.
farm, and we were like, okay, we're gonna go evict this thing, and so we pinged a couple other groups because we were pretty small at the time.
Yeah.
We pinged Almost Dangerous, we pinged Singularity Syndicate, and we said, hey, we found the C6 Cataclysmic. Do you want to come help us evict it? And they said yes. So we organized, our fleets, and it was so funny too because looking back on it, I thought we had this huge blob at the time. I don't know if we had more than like 45 people there, like 45 characters on grid.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, but at the time it felt huge.
Hmm.
So we start doing this eviction, and we get to the final day, and we've got like maybe 2 or 3 hours until the timer, and we lost hull control
Oh
because
no.
the defenders were able to get some people in, and then for the next 4 hours we were in nonstop fights on like 3 different grids simultaneously
Oh
using the
wow.
same comms. We were um, we were in what was this? So um, we had like a wormhole, like a chain of wormholes going down towards low sec, and there was a fleet coming up that way to um, try and get in, and so we had to send part of our fleet down there to intercept them, and then we had the defenders, people who were in the wormhole, trying to. We had a pos set up, and they were trying to bash our pos, so we were trying to defend the pos at the same time because somebody had forgot to bring Straunt. And we had another fleet at the same time trying to do hull control on another another wormhole that is spawned in system. So there were like 3 fights happening at the exact same time. We're all using the exact same comms, and we have like 3 FCs calling targets simultaneously. It was like the most insane thing. And so then finally we get to the Sir Camelot came back. He did Camelot. He came back to you. So we oh shit.
Yeah, he's
He's
repping really
repping.
good.
Uh-oh.
I think he has
So
a
he for sure is an Ansel, right?
maybe. Well, I'm buffer fit. I'm just a buffer armor fit here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm just trying to keep my transversal up because he doesn't have a tracking bonus. So my hope is I just stay under his guns here, and
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna have to deheat that. Or I'm gonna burn them out. I think he wins
Yeah.
this. I think he's gonna win this.
I think he might.
Yeah, he's repping really well. Yep, good fight, dude. Hell
It's
yeah.
yeah, pretty good. But at the very end of it, we got to the point where we we were sitting on we were bashing the fort. We had finally pushed off all those other fleets. We were bashing the fort, and the defenders we had cleared off almost all of their ships, and we had just a ragtag collection of ships left ourselves. We barely had enough to do damage cap, or barely enough to keep the fort paused. Like we were not at damage cap at all,
Oh no.
and and uh, we're sitting here bashing this fort, and I get a ping from one of the Hard Knocks FCs, and they said, "Hey, we're coming to this hole. Um, don't shoot us." And I said, "Okay, why?" And they go, "Because wholesale is rolling for you right now, and if they get in, we're gonna fight them." And we go, "Oh shit, okay."
Oh.
So wholesale was another pretty big group at the time. They lived in a C4,
Hmm.
but they were huge. I mean, they were a massive group, and they were rolling with Exit Strategy, which is an Australian wormhole group,
Hmm.
and these other guys called Quantum Inquisition, maybe I think was what they were called.
Hmm.
Basically, those 3 groups are rolling together to try and get into this wormhole,
Oh wow.
and they did. They did after Hard Knocks got in, and we ended up losing the eviction because those guys got in and defended it.
Oh.
They brought this huge fleet of like Drekovics and Lashaks,
Oh wow.
and so we went from 4 hours of fighting on those 3 grids to the high of okay, we will kill this horde eventually, to then hearing that HK is coming to help us apparently, which is crazy,
Maybe.
and then turning around from there and going, oh, we are fucked.
Oh
they
man.
they have brought truly so many people.
Yeah.
So that was my like there. I talk a lot about like what my white whale fight was,
Mm.
and like the fight that I'm always trying to recapture that feeling, because I think a lot of people in Eve will do that, right?
Yes.
They're always looking for the thing that was uh like either that moment that they got that feeling that made them stick around for a long time,
Yeah.
and for a lot of people that feeling they'll just never recapture it. I've
Yeah.
gotten close a couple times, but that was the one that was like, yeah, that this is it. This
Yeah.
is I'm gonna be here for a while now.
Yeah. I had this similar thing when I first started. I was forced into FCing. So I started FCing for
Paul told, of course.
a renter group that was fighting off PFR, if you remember, Phoebe Freeport Republic, when they were trying to push into
Yeah,
nullsec, and so I was forced to fight that. And I thought I'd pulled off this huge victory against these guys. And, PFR was not a big group by any stretch, but we were just renters. Coalition renters is not a elite fighting force, we shall say.
sure, sure,
And I
sure.
thought
Yeah,
we had
yeah.
won great battle. Then I turned around and look, and X-Death had shown up and helped murder the rest of PFR. But I was like, oh, all right. And there's a video of it where you can watch one of the renter guys kill one of his friends. I'm like, okay, well, all right.
Yeah,
So,
I get it. I mean, anytime that you, um, excuse me, anytime that you are in that position where you're in the shoes of like you are the FC, you get to make the calls. Um, you have that moment where you're so locked in throughout the entire fight,
mhm.
and then there's a moment at some point where you have that like the clarity of focus, where like whether it's because you've locked in or whatever, and you have this moment of like everything just kind of goes quiet for a second,
Mhm.
and then you come down from that when the fight is over, especially if you've won. Then you come down from the fight after it's over and you're like, oh shit,
Yep.
that was insane.
Yeah.
uh yeah,
Put in
so i
perspective,
i
I was
get it,
flying
man.
a Proteus that I could barely get into with
Ooh,
T1
sheesh.
rails.
Sheesh.
So I was getting made fun of all day. Oh, so Lundball put in exerted to help me and my friends be able to join Minotaur Faction Warfare due to the added career engines. So that's a plus right there.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's still some bugs in there too,
oh yeah.
that people have run into, and I know they've been working on putting some patches out today, um, to try and help some of that stuff. There was a bug at one point where people were, if you pressed Control Shift F9, the thing that like turns off
I saw
the,
that post today.
yeah,
I was like,
it
ah,
was just having people's clients crash.
oh
This has
Jesus.
happened once before, and it's a really weird thing. I don't know why it does this. So
Mm.
I'm sure somebody in engineering who knows more than me could probably explain a little bit better than I can.
Yeah, but
Uh,
I saw you guys posted as a notification that they fixed the career agent thing, which Lundbob have an issue.
yeah.
Hi everybody.
Oh, have you run into somebody? Oh, you have run into somebody.
I think I'll be okay though. I don't see any small tackle here, so unless they're
Who?
hiding out on the other side, we're fine.
No. And
All right.
Corvus is here. I know Corvus on zone. Yeah, you'll get out just fine.
Yep.
They,
So the
they had
next
material there. Were they smart bombing?
No, Mac. This I don't know that group by chance, but yeah, that's a different group.
Hmm.
You don't see Max a lot in this area unless it's
No,
in a
certainly not.
fleet. So without technical difficulty not being a problem, what feature would you add to Eve right now if you could?
What feature would I add to Eve right now if I could?
It could be purely
Man,
personal, just a thing for you. Even if it's just like the thing, if you could have it, you would do it right now.
these are really good questions. Let me ponder this for a moment.
That's fine.
I think. Oh man.
As I look around for a site here.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying
No, don't be
to.
sorry. This is I want. I just honestly like to hear what you guys got to say because it's awesome. Oh god, I gotta go the other direction now.
Hmm. I want. It doesn't have to be. Um, it doesn't have to be Titans, obviously, but I wish some of the Doomsdays applied better to subs. And I
Hmm.
know there are reasons for why they don't.
Hmm.
But one of the coolest moments I ever had was we took a fleet of, I think we were in like Ospreys maybe, or maybe it was Icky Turses or something.
Hmm.
We were just like a gang of Icky Turses that I took out with my Wormhole Corp into frat space. And we
Oh.
were just, I mean, we were being stupid. We were just looking for like brainless crabs or something.
Hmm.
And at one point, we jump a gate, and there was a an Erebus on the other side of the gate, and he just proceeds to DDS, and we wiped the fleet, and it was wild,
Hmm.
very wild. But the uh, yeah, we something like, I mean, we got close, kind of, or at least put it in to um, like into approachability with the T2 Dreads.
Hmm.
Like, I love my Valraven. It is
Yeah.
one of my favorite ships. I wish the Lance was useful because it is not. It's good
Yeah.
in very rare cases,
Yeah.
and it'd be better if you were, going, if you were fighting, like if you're in like a capital engagement with other caps and you need to, um, excuse me again. Sorry.
Don't be. You're fine. I'm yawning just as much as you are. That's why I'm chugging.
Yeah.
By the way, if you know anyone in Mountain Dew, I need a sponsorship because these cost a lot of money.
Yeah, my dad is a longtime Mountain Dew connoisseur. Is that a kickstart?
It is an orange Kickstart.
Yeah,
I almost died in Reykjavik because I couldn't find them. Like
I
if you cut me open, I would probably be 90% this.
I like the kickstarts. My favorite is, the amp energy drinks.
Hmm.
The Mountain Dew amps were my favorite in high school. Um, my dad is one of the healthier human beings I've ever met in my life. Is super active.
Hmm.
You know, he's in his early 60s now.
Nice.
And he, still probably could kick my ass if he need to. Man has drank Mountain Dew like water basically every day of his life.
Yep.
So I sympathize.
Yeah, my
But
mom was the
yeah,
same
I
way.
mean, I really want, like, if I had it my way, I would make um, I would find a way to make because, like, capital ships outside of certain dreads don't really feel scary to subcaps.
Yeah.
And there are reasons for that. And I'm not going to pretend like this is a one size fits all solution.
Yeah.
Cat, why are you sitting right here on top of my mouse? This is not a place for cats.
So
This is a
do you
bad
have one of
spot.
these?
Which one? What's that?
It's
Hang
a
on.
plexiglass cover for the keyboard, and you can
Oh
get
my
larger ones that
God.
cover your
You're
mouse.
so wise.
It was like
I
twenty
should get,
dollars on Amazon, dude. Best
I should
purchase
get
I've gotten.
Kiki, please. Kiki, come here. Come here. You want me to hold you? I'll hold you. You just can't sit right on my keyboard. All right, hang on. Hang on, cat. Hang on. Oh, come here.
Ah,
Come here.
see, furry
Good
terrorists.
girl. Good girl.
See, at least your cat will let you hold him. Warden will not. He is not about that life.
She just wants attention. She just wants to be
Oh
held.
yeah.
She's just a little dumbass. Um, yeah, that's the other thing I would do. If I had the choice to do it like today, that's probably what I would do.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, and I get that too, because like I mean, I think everyone's even in some of the videos, the most renowned moment for folks is when they get DD'd for the first time, and it's just like,
Yeah,
ah, that's awesome. Even if you're getting
it's
losing the fight, getting DD is still like, oh my god, that's amazing.
it makes capital ships feel sufficiently big. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
Like, a lot of times I feel like caps have the problem where they look big, but for subcap fleets they just aren't dangerous.
Mm,
Like, unless it's like a Haw dread and you have no support, you're never gonna get killed by a dread.
no,
Like,
yeah,
it's just not a thing that's gonna happen. They can't track you. Like, you might get unlucky and just have zero transversal and they
yeah,
bop you with cap guns. But like 9 times out of 10, it's just not gonna happen,
yep,
right? So finding a way to make capitals actually kind of scary to subcaps,
mm,
uh, and make it short range if you want to. Make them have to sit up on top of the subcap fleet so they could risk getting tackled and killed.
Right.
I don't know. There are balance reasons why I'm sure they'd be. Oh, okay, and she's gone.
There you go.
Well, they'd be less incentivized to do that. But anyway,
Yeah,
that's
it's
what I would
hard.
do.
It's a hard balance. All right,
It
so
is.
there still undiscovered things in Eve? I've always wondered this. Are there
Oh
things
yeah.
players haven't found
Yes.
yet?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You don't have to disclose. I was just
Uh,
like, it was
yeah.
just like
Well,
one of
and
those things.
I would never. But yeah, there definitely are.
Okay, cool. Is there an activity in Eve you wish people tried more?
Um, wish I had tried more, or wish that people had tried
Wish
more.
people tried more. This is more like something you wish folks would
Oh
take a look
man.
at.
I I'm gonna cop out here a little bit and say
That's
wormhole
fine.
fights
Oh yeah. I mean, again, you
because
can be purely
w-
for you.
one of the things that I hear a lot when I do stream wormhole fights in hang on one second.
Hmm?
Sorry, I gotta do a job thing for a moment.
You're good. Do your thing. Like I said, like all anyone would be doing right now is watching me do a plex right now. And
Yeah. Uh, um,
I just realized my Spotify was still sitting out there. Okay, just a big square sitting over you.
no, you're fine. Sorry, I just
Oh, don't be sorry.
um, right. So what I was gonna say was the what I hear a lot whenever we do those kind of fights is people talking about how um, the it's crazy to see a fight on that scale happening without tie dye
Hmm.
because I think a lot of people sort of expect fights that are fights that are that kind of with that kind of intensity happening without tie dye, and I am not a tie dye hater. I know a lot of people. Maybe that's because I'm not exposed to it that often.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people get kind of real froth at the mouth about it, but it is absolutely a necessary evil. If you want fights that happen in that size, you're going to
You
get
have
tie dye.
to. Yeah.
There's not a processor that exists that can process the amount of stuff that needs to happen on one of those grids at the speed that you want it to happen at. So either fight smaller or like learn to live with it.
Right.
In my experience, and what I decided to do was fight smaller. I mean, I was in tests back in 2016, and while I think my exposure to tie dye at the time was being on a grid and then like getting smoked and being like, okay, well that wasn't fun, and then going somewhere else. And some people really like that kind of thing. I'm not one of them, and that's fine. I mean, the different folks or different strokes for different folks certainly. Um, but I just decided that I wanted to fight smaller. So um, I love doing, being on that scale because it's not true small gang stuff. It's not like, you know, sorry, Jesus
You're
Christ.
good. If you need to
Long
go, let
day.
me know. Like I'll let you get some rest, brother.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I got another 10 minutes in me. I can at least answer this question. I think a lot of people become resigned to the idea that certain fights will be a certain way, and there's no way for them to be any different. You know what I mean? Like I think a lot of people will look at like some of the nullsec brawls, and they say this is the best fighting can get, but it is unfortunate the best that fighting can get has to look this way. And my opinion is that it's not necessarily the best fighting can get. That you can have all the dynamics of a big fleet fight without running into tie-dye, as long as you are doing it at a size where instead of having, 1,000 people on a grid, you have, 100. And you can usually do fights like that and have them feel smooth and be, engaging and interesting. And yeah, that is it does seem like a cop out because it is, I'm the wormhole guy talk about, oh, the wormhole fights are the best fights. And I don't know if it's the best fight for everybody,
No.
but it certainly is the best fight for
So
me.
I would agree. Like your all's fights are very intensive, as in you lose one ship that could literally break the thing. So like your guys' logi, your guys' comps are very, very lined out appropriately. You know what's going on. You guys are, you're even if you're outnumbered, usually you bring a comp that knows that can stand up to that kind of thing. So your fights are very intense, very small, and they're very good. Like that's one reason why I kind of like Faction Warfare is like the medium between nullsec and wormhole space fight wise, in my opinion, because you can have some larger scale fights that can get into tie-dye, and usually it's more smaller stuff, usually with a
Right.
lot of the randomness that nullsec provides with the folks bringing whatever the hell they want to a fight.
Correct. Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome.
Um, he. One second.
You're good.
Um, there you go. Yeah, I mean, I like low sec for the same reason. Obviously, on a slightly larger scale, because there are. Well, I'm kind of of two minds about it.
Hmm.
I've always liked wormhole space for a couple different reasons, but one of them is that the wormhole mass limit is the great equalizer, right? Like it is the thing that keeps you from, you can only because of those mass limits that chances are pretty good you're only going to be getting blobbed up to a certain limit,
Yeah.
right? Like, and past that point, they need to either get another entrance in, or they're not going to be able to bring people.
Yep.
So I like that. Low sec is purer in the sense that like most of the fights that happen there are happening at that scale or around that scale in general, but there's still always the opportunity that like the snuff man might show up, and then you're just kind of cooked. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Which is fine, and that's like base as hell still, but
Yeah.
the that is the difference, right? Where like in wormhole space, unless somebody rolls into you, or unless somebody is like just finds another or scans another way in, you're only ever going to see what you see on a grid, and that is the thing that makes them, I feel like, more fair.
Yeah.
Now there are always going to be people who will sit there and be like, "Oh, this just arranged fights and it doesn't mean anything," and like, okay, sure, but it's still fucking cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And
because
yeah,
I think you're like me. Are you having fun? Yes. Then it doesn't matter.
yes, yeah. I mean, I don't think that you need a reason to fight other than just that it
Yeah.
is fun and you should be fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that is my opinion.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, and that's why I've been trying to put more and more events together to get folks out there. Because I think what we need more of is people just being like, let's get a ship and go on dock and go do things with people.
yes,
I mean, that's basically all
yeah,
it boils down to.
I agree, and I think that I think that there is a not necessarily like a complacency, but there are a lot of people out there right now who play the game, who enjoy the game and enjoy fighting and enjoy being in those ships, but um, are always kind of cautious about being the person who takes the first step,
Hmm.
because there's a lot of responsibility when it comes to leading those fights,
Yep.
and people are for justifiably kind of cautious about it.
Yeah.
So I understand that, and that's why I'm always excited about new content creators showing up, because whenever people are going to be that person who takes the first, is the person who undocks first and says let's undock.
Yeah.
That is meaningful to
Yep.
me. I think that is how Eve has continued to exist for
Yeah.
23 years, because you have people who are willing to be that person who presses undock first.
You said 23 years, and immediately felt aged at that point. I was like, oh, God.
Bro, how the fuck do you think I feel? My 20th anniversary is coming up
Oh, wow.
in 6 days. A week ago, or a week from now, yesterday, also 20 years ago, was when I first sat down and created my character,
That's awesome.
which is
Oh,
crazy.
my girlfriend,
Uh,
for the first time last week, streamed Eve and is learning.
let's go.
Oh.
Let's go. All right. Tell her she's got 20 years worth of catching up to do,
Right.
but she'll get there.
All right, we'll
I
skip down here.
believe.
We'll do this rapid fire so you can get some rest, brother. All right, so
Hell yeah.
we know you have pets. Any other games you play outside of Eve stuff?
Yeah. I'm a huge. I've played a ton of Dark Souls,
Awesome.
and Souls adjacent properties. I've got more hours in Elden Ring, I think, than I've got in almost anything else.
Nice.
I always used to joke that my de-stressing game was Dark Souls 2.
How
Which
does that work?
which well, it was back when I was working in supply
Oh,
chain.
okay, that makes
Uh,
sense. Yeah, trust me.
yeah, it was
I
it
was an
was
operations manager for Walmart. I understand
you
pain.
understand. Yeah, you understand. I but I love, obviously those Souls games all feel very good to me.
Hmm.
And I've played, I think my most played game this year outside of Eve was Elden Ring Night Rain,
Oh,
the kind of
nice.
roguelike 3-person. Sick, love it.
Oh yeah.
And then on top of that, I'm big into like city builder games.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I played a lot of SimCity when I was younger, and then more recently I've played a ton of City Skylines and City Skylines 2.
Nice.
Uh, and I also really love like
Oh,
I
oh,
every
Roller
so often
Coaster
we'll play
Tycoon. Yeah.
Roller Coaster Tycoon 2.
Oh,
I have played truly so many hours of Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. There was one week, it was earlier this year, I think it was back in like February maybe, where like we had some time off, and I sit down at the beginning of the week and I'm like, I'm gonna get so much done this week. Like I'm gonna be so productive. I'm gonna clean the house. I'm gonna get groceries. I'm gonna do all this stuff. And I spent every day playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, playing on maps that I've played for years. I mean, the
yeah.
game is almost 30 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
Mine,
So
mine's RimWorld. I love RimWorld. I stream it on the
Rimworld is
weekends
great.
now. I've got a bunch of
Really
Eve
good.
streamers I got together and made them kick pawns in there.
Hell yeah.
All right. Next thing is, what is your favorite color?
Green.
Green. Outstanding. Best
Green.
ship
Always
in Eve
has been.
Online.
The best ship in EVE Online. The
You can be
best ship or my
totally
favorite ship?
envious,
Well,
or
hang on. The
it can
best
be
ship
to
or my
you.
favorite?
To you.
Okay.
To you.
The best ship. Fuck me. It's the Ikitursa.
Okay.
I came up, and now I'm not saying it is actually the best ship, but it is my favorite ship.
No worries.
Because the when I started playing Eve more seriously back in like 2020, like 2019, 2020,
Hmm.
I that was the age of like Ickies Online, where
Hmm.
everybody was flying these huge hack fleets of just Ickies,
Yeah.
especially in wormhole space, because they were super mass effective.
Yep.
They were really mass efficient. They had tons of damage. They had great skins. They looked cool, and they were pretty new. They had just come out, and I love the Icky. And ever since then, I I wish now that I could convince my corp to do Icky fleets as doctrine, but they're just not that good. They're not as good as they used to be.
No.
So
It's just like Eve. The trends go up and down for different ships.
they do. Well, and everybody discovered the burst jammers.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. That'll reset
yeah,
things.
a little bit problematic. So,
All
but
right.
yeah, that's my favorite ship.
Best favorite food.
Oh man, this is a good one. My favorite food. Shit. Okay, my guilty pleasure. I'm gonna do guilty pleasure food
That's
too.
fine. That's fine.
My guilty pleasure food first was what I don't eat this as much anymore, obviously,
Yeah.
because I don't want to fucking die. But when I was in college, I would make craft brand like blue box mac and cheese,
Hmm.
and then cook hot dogs
Yeah.
and chop them up into like little discs, and then throw that in on
Yep.
top of the mac and cheese,
Yep.
and that was the meal,
Hmm.
which is not healthy, by the way.
No,
It's not good for you.
but it was
but,
good. That's all that
Oh
matters.
my god, it was so good. I think my favorite food, I mean, it's pasta for sure. It's got to be pasta.
Yeah.
But like, oh man, there's so many good options.
I mean, I think you can leave it at
Um,
pasta, so that way you don't have to
I
rack
think
your brain. I
pasta.
think pasta is a good enough,
I think
like,
pasta.
because you get thousands of choices within pasta.
Yeah, yeah. There's something. It fits so well with so many different like meal types.
Yeah.
Like you could have lunch, you have it for lunch, have it for dinner, have it maybe for
Hmm.
breakfast. I don't know. You can have.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what fucking carbonara is. Is basically just like breakfast pasta. So yeah, I'm gonna say pasta.
All right. Who's the best dressed at Fenris on the day-to-day basis?
Oh, best dressed. Oh my goodness. Let me
Just
think
comes
about this.
in
Oh,
with the
there's some
swag
good.
on.
There's some good options. FC Mayday. She is one of the. What does she do? What is her job? Hang on, let me see if I can find it real fast. She is um, the lead infrastructure engineer, and she always is drip the fuck out at work. Like I will rock up to the office some days in a bathrobe, looking like I mean, and that is my aesthetic.
Hmm.
I'm trying to cultivate an aesthetic, and that is it. But I won't pretend. Excuse me. Like it is. I won't pretend like it is like it is a going out outfit. But Mayday will always show up absolutely in like the coolest outfits, and like every single day she does not miss. I'm always very impressed. So I'm gonna say Mayday.
All right. Uh, Favorite season weather-wise? I know it's a bit different
Oh,
probably where you are
fall,
now, but like if you had to pick a
fall,
season,
fall.
fall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fall back home. I mean, the seasons here are obviously a little bit weird. I will never pick summer,
Hmm.
obviously. I love the winter here, even though it's like it is consistently kind of chilly here,
Mm.
but never really gets like cold. Honestly, in Iceland, because
Really?
things are pretty. Yeah, it's because of the ocean.
Oh, okay. That makes
So
sense.
Iceland gets cold, but not like I mean I had way colder days back living in Indiana than I had ever had here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it's just because like Iceland is surrounded by water, so it is you're rarely ever going to be that much warmer or colder than the ocean.
Hmm.
Um, so I think the coldest day I've had here was like -5 Celsius maybe, and that's really not that cold.
Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. That's not bad at
maybe
all.
like -8 or something.
Hmm.
But like, and it so for the same reason, like it obviously never gets that hot. Um, but yeah, I mean the temperature range is very narrow. Whereas back home, there were huge swings between the
Yeah.
summer and winter. Like the coldest day I've ever experienced in my entire life was when I was living in Indiana. There was a day where um, I woke up and I went out to get gas, and I could not like disconnect the gas pump from the pumping station
Oh,
because it
wow.
had frozen in place. It was negative like 21 degrees Fahrenheit. Uh, it was frigid, and that I've never felt anything like that here. Like it'll get windy and stuff here too, and it'll feel pretty cold.
Hmm.
But and up in the mountains, like up in the highlands, it'll get much colder. But here on the coast, it's nothing. I mean, it really does not get that cold. But back home in the fall, that was marching band weather, that was football weather,
Yep.
and there's just nothing even now still that I feel as alive in as like one of those crisp fall mornings in like September, October,
Right.
more October than September, where like you wake up and you walk outside and it's like just brisk enough that you like want to put on like a light jacket.
Hmm.
Sometimes, oh, that's Mamma Mia, that's the good stuff.
All right. Finally, who is the best PvPer at FC?
My best PvP at FC, it's gotta be.
I think I have a guess, but I don't know. So I'd like to see
I
who
think
you
it's
think.
I think it's Sutonia.
Yeah.
I think it's Kestrel.
Yeah, I think it's Kestrel
I
too.
think the thing is, it could be a handful of people. It could be B,
Yeah.
and B is legit and has all the chops. It certainly is not me. Definitely not me. My God, it's not me. Um, but like even Fozzie is like has played the game forever, and is a pretty good pilot. But in terms of just like if I had to face one person in a 1v1, and I like the person who I'd most expect to lose to is, yeah, it's gotta be Kestrel. Like
Yeah.
Sutoni is a fucking like he's so unassuming too,
Oh
because you
yeah.
meet him in real life and he's just like this really like kind of chill, very
Yep.
calm dude,
But he
and then he's a monster,
he,
dude.
he just picks you apart analytically in the game. It's just
Oh
oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and he is one of like between him and Fozzie, I don't know if there are anybody else at the company who knows more about Eve, just like as a rule. I honestly do not like those two know everything there is to know. You can ask him, like ask Kestrel some weird obscure question about some random mechanic, and
Hmm.
there's a better chance than not that not only does he know what you're talking about, he's like read the design documents for it, which is crazy. The
Wow,
dude is legit. He is. We are very very lucky to have him.
that's awesome. So we can get out of here for you, so you can get some rest. Well, what's
Yeah,
you want to shout out anything? Anything you're working on? Anything you want to talk about real quick before you get out of here?
yeah. Shout out to Orion Solo, one of my favorite streamers going right now. I mean, I have a lot of favorite streamers, but like I kind of I group them into like what the regions of space that they play the most in.
Hmm.
Easily my favorite low sec streamer, not even close. Um, this is my dude. If you guys have not done so yet, you should check out some of the new sites. Go hang out. There have been like it's not my thing, but I spent a lot of time over the last couple of days hanging out with some of the like new bro mining fleets that they've got going on right now.
Hmm.
Just like hanging out in some of the systems, like doing like um, like the war resupply stuff that they're doing in
Hmm.
these mining fleets, and just like talking to those guys, and it's super cool.
That's awesome.
Like it's just fun to like interact with people, especially people who their relationship with the game is very different than yours,
Yep.
because I like it is a perspective that I feel like I sometimes miss, and I'm grateful that this has given me the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Uh, so worth doing. Check it out. It's super fun. If you think it's dumb, okay, do it anyway because you'll have fun. And life is short. Try new things.
Exactly. Again, thank you so much for your time, FC Jotun, and then
Absolutely, dude. Thank you for
hopefully,
having me.
and then I'll
The
talk to
next time we
Miss.
do this,
Yeah.
I promise I will have slept ahead of time,
You could,
and
man.
and
You
not
you
have
had
the
a
schedule of
party
a
to
party.
attend. I was like, oh crap. If you'd
Yeah.
have told me, I'd been like, dude, we can schedule this for another day.
No, 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 no. I wanted to do this. This is fun.
All right.
Uh, we'll do it again before too long.
No worries. I'll hit up FC Lumi and then hopefully maybe get some more folks on here.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Take it easy, brother. I'll talk
Thanks
to you
so
later.
much.
Okay.
You can stay in the server. You can bounce. Either one. I won't message you in
I will
here.
stay
This is a
here.
safe space, man.
No, I'll stay here. I'll talk to you later, buddy.
See you.
Bye.